To bring the classical music fader right down, the PC fader right down.
In 1771, there was a man who literally ate himself to death. King Adolf Frederick of Sweden had a love affair with food. In 1771, he consumed a large meal of lobster, sauerkraut, caviar, smoked herring, cabbage soup, and champagne, which he topped off with a whopping 14 helpings of his favorite dessert, semla. He died shortly afterwards from a digestive problem. Indeed, every incident which I have detailed above could be counted as a strange accident. However, I believe the strangest and funniest accident of all came across during my research for this article. Happened in much more recent history. On March 19th of this year, an elderly couple was taken to the hospital because they got stuck to each other during intercourse. This is the kind of thing that happens when you find yourself stuck in a vicious battle between life and death, war and crime, peace and appropriation, and it's crazy, but it's what we have to deal with when two people making love get stuck to each other. And, you know, it happens every now and then that if you're eating food, you eat too quickly, you might just chew your own face. And in a zombie apocalypse, that's the kind of thing that's going to happen. Thanks for that, Chris. You're a good man. A strange man, but a good man. Brad, you actually met Chris Walken one time, didn't you?
I met Al Pacino. I did.
Did you actually meet Al Pacino?
Yeah, I got to ask Al Pacino a question.
Hoo-ah.
Yeah, and at the Hard Rock Casino in Fort Lauderdale.
Really?
Yeah, it was like an inside the actor's studio kind of thing.
Wow, okay.
But it was really kind of like, it was more like you just show up and he just kind of is like, I'm the man, sits on a chair, talks about his movies a little bit.
So it was less so like,
I mean, he shows
immersive.
His movies too. Yeah, it was less immersive. It was more just like, yeah, I'm the man. People are just celebrating who I am.
I'm the man.
Yeah.
He was just going for it.
Yeah. Well, did you know he started out doing stand-up comedy?
I did not know that.
Al Pacino.
Ladies and gentlemen, exclusive. You heard it first in DSFM. Al Pacino began doing stand-up comedy. Unless you knew it already, in which case you heard it first somewhere else in life.
Which I doubt. Right.
Yeah, come on.
This is like the best.
So what question did you ask him? What did you ask him?
I asked him, what was it like starting out doing stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I was never as funny as I am now.
Okay.
It was like along those lines.
Yeah, okay.
But the funny thing is, it was in a big, giant, it wasn't like an intimate room, It was like this big, giant concert. So I'm way up on a balcony asking him this question. You know what I mean?
Did you have they handed you a
microphone, yeah. So
Brad Bellinger, ladies and gentlemen, he's here. He's ready to take names.
I am trying.
And changing games, taking names. You know, him and his buddies, Al Pacino and the boys, they're gonna.
It was his birthday.
Was it his birthday?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Speaking of birthdays on this day in history. Well, less so this day in history, but just on this day throughout history. Celebrity birthdays. Christian Bale is 40 today.
How about that?
That
American Psycho.
An American Psycho.
That English idiot. No,
yeah, that's strange British man. But he's 40 today. Franklin D. Roosevelt was born today. Kid Cudi, Gene Hackman, Peter Crouch, Jake Thomas, and Vanessa Redgrave, and Brett Butler. Brett Butler, I don't know who he is, but I chose him out of a hat of names because it sounds like Brad Bellinger.
Really?
You got that alliteration. Brett Butler, Brad Bellinger.
That's a lot of birthdays.
It's a lot of birthdays in one day. Speaking of birthdays, I'm sure this woman had a birthday at some stage in her life. Being such a beautiful singer, she's gonna give us a little ditty here. It's called "Baby Now That I Found You," and it's from a lady called Alison Krauss. Let's have a listen and see what she has to say for herself. I'm not sure when her birthday was, but I'm sure it happened.
I'm sure, yeah.
Seeing as she is living a breathing sentient human. Let's find out from her what she has to say about finding her baby. Not literally baby, but like the aphorism, the kind of affectionate term, the personal term for one's love. "Baby Now That I Found You" by Alison Krauss.